Yes, we do. Let's be really clear on that.
Even if that's true, so then you're saying, because, let's say this guy's a leftist, even if that's true, does that make it okay for the sitting president of the United States to incite violence against liberals?
I can't be the only one who finds him slightly concerning. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another quick hit video where I give you my short form take reacting to breaking news and viral moments. And a moment that's going viral right now that I found really fascinating involves the conservative commentator and political journalist Megyn Kelly and a college student who she squared off with over the death of Charlie Kirk, political violence, and rhetoric on both sides at a campus event. And before I even get into the clip, I should just say that personally, I would not mess with Megyn Kelly. I disagree with her on a fair number of things, but that is a woman who is fearless and fierce in her commentary and debating, and I wouldn't mess with her. But this college student decided to, and it didn't go well for him. We're going to take a look at this clip. And yes, guys, I'm on the road. I'm back at my old place in Michigan. We're visiting family, so I don't have my normal setup. So sorry about that, but I didn't want to miss out on bringing you guys some important and interesting content. So buckle up, subscribe, hit the like button, yada, yada, yada. And let's take a look at this clip.
Why you support a president who contributes to the rhetoric that got your friend Charlie killed. We saw his rally recently. He said, "I hate my enemies." Stephen Miller said similar things. How can you support him when he contributed to what got Charlie killed?
I'm going to just pause here for a second and say this already makes no sense to me. I'm very critical of Trump's rhetoric, but how does him speaking harshly about the left therefore mean he got Charlie Kirk killed by a leftist? Like, the math is not mathing for me. So far, at least. To me, it seems like already off to not a great start, but let's see how Megyn responds.
Assumes facts, not evidence. What you said is not true.
70% of political violence is committed by Republicans.
Okay.
Look it up.
That's not true.
DOJ just pulled it. The DOJ just pulled it from their website. DOJ.
He's kind of scary. Why is he already screaming? Like, he's giving me the ick. And honestly, I should just say I give Megyn a lot of credit for even doing a campus event right now. Like, I'm sure she had a lot of security, but after Charlie was killed and these campuses are these hotbeds of left-wing radicals, I would genuinely be scared to go do that. And she lost a friend and she's still mourning her friend. I mean, so I give her credit for this and for facing these people and having these discussions. Give her a lot of credit for that, actually. But let's keep going.
Website. DOJ just pulled the study from their website because they're delusional.
That's not true, because
they just pulled it. Look it up.
Once you pull
pulled it from their website.
Once you pull the crazies out of there, it is overwhelmingly left-wing violence.
Google it.
We have had.
Yeah, so he's talking about a study the DOJ pulled down that did identify a lot of recent political violence as right-wing. I'm actually going to cover later today on my podcast new data analysis that suggests recently most of the acts of terroristic violence have been from the left. But I think if we're being honest, a lot of these things are hard to categorize neatly. A lot of the people who do these things are insane and crazy. So whether you count them as far left or far right can sometimes be confusing and hard to parse. The truth is, it does happen across the spectrum. I'm more interested in the public support for it. And my understanding, both in terms of just my personal perception, but also the polling, is that there is currently more support among the general left of center public for political violence than there is among the general right of center public. But of course, there are crazies on both sides who do these horrific things. Let's keep going.
Every single person in the audience, Google it right now.
Oh my God.
This is how we get here.
He's
So
giving
first
me
of all,
the
let me take on the first part of the premise of your question, that it was President Trump's rhetoric that led to an assassin killing our friend Charlie Kirk. That's a blatant lie. It's a defamatory blaspheme, and it's inappropriate in the setting.
That's not what I said.
We know. Yeah.
Hold on. What do you mean that's not what you said? We literally all heard you say that like a minute ago. Why are you gaslighting? Stand on business. I always say this. If you're going to say some crazy ish, stand on business. Don't back down and gaslight or do the Mott and Bailey and retreat to a different position. You specifically said, How can you support Trump when his rhetoric contributed to Charlie Kirk getting killed? Now you're like, I didn't say that. You did. Maybe now you're realizing it doesn't make sense, so you want to walk it back. But also, I guess I don't really understand the need to even go and confront Megyn Kelly just, like 2 weeks after her friend was murdered at this campus event. I don't understand why somebody would be motivated to do that. Of course, he's well within his right. They opened up a Q&A. They asked people to speak and participate. But personally, if somebody I really didn't like or had a big issue with was coming to campus, I would either go engage a little more chill than this, or I would just not go at all. That's always an option, but that's just me.
Yes, it is.
No, I said he contributed to the political atmosphere.
Well, then you have no point.
tension.
Then your point is utterly empty. Contributing to the atmosphere. This guy was, let's just make clear. This guy was motivated by leftist ideology. We know it from the bullet casings. We know it from the Utah governor. We know it from his own mother. Yes, we.
Why is he shaking his head? I hate that some people on the left are still denying this. It doesn't mean they're all responsible. Doesn't mean all leftists are to blame for this. Nothing like that. But yes, the guy who shot Charlie Kirk clearly was motivated by left of center sentiment. He said he wanted to stop the hate, referring to like trans issues and other things. That Delulu is not a Solulu. Okay, just denying that doesn't change facts or reality. It's really aggravating, actually.
We do. Let's be really clear on that.
Even if that's true, so then you're saying, because, let's say this guy's a leftist, even if that's true, does that make it okay for the sitting president of the United States to incite violence against liberals?
The president of the United States.
Oh my God. He's scaring me. It's giving that one kid in class who, whenever he reaches into his backpack, everyone flinches. Like, I'm sorry, it just is. Look, if his point is that Trump also engages in alarmist, hyperbolic rhetoric, also demonizes his political opponents, and that should stop as well, that is a fair point. But don't try to blame that for the death of Charlie Kirk when it didn't come from that side. And two, you could just ask it in a much more chill way. Like if I wanted to make the same point to Megyn Kelly, I would just say, listen, you're talking a lot about how we need to tone down the temperature after what happened to Charlie Kirk. Surely you would apply that to President Trump as well when he calls Democrats traitors or scum or communists or even fascists. He actually uses that word as well in many occasions. He called Kamala Harris a fascist. Wouldn't you agree that he should also tone down the rhetoric? And I would think, Megyn, because she's a Trump supporter, she's to the right of me on a lot of issues, but she is an honest broker, and she is, I think, not 100% cultist loyalist. She might say, yes, I agree, Trump should tone down his rhetoric. But when you present it in this weird, strange manner and come off as so crazy, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how she handles it, but I would have been weirded out if I was in her situation.
The President of the United States has not accepted violence against liberals. The President of the United States made a joke at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, which was funny and self-deprecating. It was on the heels of Erica Kirk saying she, in an extraordinary moment, forgave her husband's killer.
He
And let me finish. And then President Trump got up and making a joke, playing off of what Erica said. He said, we disagree. I need to do better. Erica's going to try to convince me, but I'm in a different place. And that's completely normal for a politician to be thinking about his political fights. And by the way, Trump has every right to loathe his enemies. They tried to put him in jail for the rest of his life. They tried to bankrupt him. They tried to put his family in jail. And they tried to kill him. Wait. Okay, now you go.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, so all's well that ends well, I guess. And that exchange ended in a fairly normal way, I guess. Again, I still have the heebie-jeebies from this guy a little bit, and I hope there were metal detectors at the event before they could get inside. But I guess my kind of main takeaway here is kudos to Megyn for doing this. The Charlie Kirk style of going to college campuses and talking to people and having debates and confronting them. It clearly worked. It clearly was important and impactful, and it massively swayed Gen Z and even some people younger than that political leanings and influences. And you got to be willing to take the smoke. And honestly, I wouldn't blame her if she wasn't ready to go do it so quick, so soon after her friend was murdered. I have a couple campus events that I'm supposed to do over the next year. I'm kind of scared to do them after what happened to Charlie, even though, I'm 1/100th as relevant or controversial or polarizing as him. It's still a little scary. And for Megyn, who I believe is doing these events specifically with Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA organization, I mean, the idea of a repeat attack or a copycat or further violence is not far-fetched. So I give her enormous credit for going into the lion's den like this, engaging with these students, and having that back and forth. I do just wish it could happen in a more civil and less slightly creepy way than this, because I feel like this guy kind of had a point, but just went about it in a really, really bad way. And so it didn't come across effectively. It came across creepily. That's just my take, guys. You let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't yet. Let me know if you're enjoying these quick hit videos. And if you're interested in more of my thoughts on a longer form format, remember to subscribe to the Bread versus Everyone podcast on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or wherever you listen to podcasts. All the links to that are in the description. And with that, guys, I'll have more content for you real soon.